right field. Infield goes for Claudio Final at third, Elvis Peralta at short, Josh Allen at second, as this is blasted back up the middle and down for a base hit. Shrulun Chung getting the party started for the brothers. Josh Raywalt at first base, Jax Grosjean doing the catching.
For Vin Timpanelli, over the course of the 2025 season, he looked very sharp, going from the bullpen to the starting rotation. 7-8 over the course of the campaign, a 4.21 ERA across 25 games, 17 of which were starts. 104 and 2/3 innings of work, collected 77 strikeouts, 40 walks over the course of the year.
I've watched Vin with the Kane County Cougars last season, and it was great to see as you look at this brothers lineup. We've already mentioned Shrulun Chang, Chunling Wang at bat now, Xiaoyu Su, Wei Ta Su, Jui Chen Lin, Meng Chi Hu, Chu Wei Teng Cheng, Sheng He Yang, and Zi Quan Chain. Rounding it out here for the brothers. And Timpanelli, a bullpen guy, his entire 2024 campaign had a spot start last year on June 1st, 2025 against the Lincoln Salt Dogs in the American Association. Went 7 innings in that game of no-hit baseball, and it would get finished up by former Cougar pitcher Tommy Summer and a member of this team for the Cougars, Jake Gozo, in a combined 3-man no-hitter. And ever since then, Timpanelli been a mainstay in this Cougars rotation. The 0-1 coming in. Wang watches it go by, and it's strike 2 for Timpanelli, getting ahead early.
He's going to have to really battle up against these first 3 batters, and this is a brothers ball club who came into the last couple of ball games starting off the scoring in the first inning. So for Timpanelli, it's going to be really navigating his way through the top 4 batters in this order.
And this brothers team has found a lot of success in the first inning so far in both games played. This one gets lifted deep left, but tripping foul and into the stands. Another closed day here at Estadio Alfredo Harpelou. We saw Chunlin Huang with a big triple yesterday in his 4 for 7 over the last 2 games. He's certainly been one of the key contributors on this brothers team. The 0-2 misses high and outside for Timpanelli.
Well, the fastball's looking pretty good, 93 miles an hour so far. He's still working on his build-up, getting ready for the 2026 season. But a former reliever who is just gas and go now has to work on continuing to work that build-up, keep the velocity up, and especially here in elevation, be able to pace yourself. And we've seen that from pitchers so far in this tournament, getting a little bit tired early on, and when you're 7,000 feet above sea level, that's certainly a case.
It'll play a factor. And swing and a miss. Timpanelli picking up strikeout number 1 against Chuanlin Huang. And a good bounce back after giving up the single to lead off this game.
And it goes with a breaking ball, and it just starts spinning downstairs. It's that bullet slider that we see here playing in elevation, and it works really well against the left-hander, something that falls right off the barrel and down to the back foot. And again, it is a brothers ball club that likes to run. Jax Grosjean's behind home plate doing the catching. He's going to need to keep his head on a swivel. Along with Josh Raywell, the communication is going to be so key in this ball game between the Cougars infielders, especially with the runners possibly in motion.
Yeah, big lead over there by Chung at first base. Timpanelli takes a quick look and then goes home and just misses on the outside edge. The Cougars really showing off the depth in this game. We see a lot of guys that didn't get an appearance in that game 1. Ray Zuber III mentioned playing in center field. You brought up Jax Grosjean's, and then as well as Jabari Henry, who we'll see in that DH spot when the Cougars come up to bat in the bottom of the inning. Xiaoyu Su blasts this one to the right side and through. The big turn by Chung, and he's going to make it to third base, and it'll set up runners at the corners for the brothers. And once again, big action for this side here, lefty-righty matchup. Timpanelli looking to get that ground ball up the middle as the Cougars are in double play depth. Misses high on his first pitch. Su, a former 5th-round pick by the CTBC brothers. One of the big veterans on this team, is 11th year in pro ball. There's just not a lot like him on this squad. And a big opportunity early as the 1-0 gets blasted up. Allen tries to pop up and make the catch, but it rolls on into right field, and that'll bring in the first run of the game for the Brothers. And an early 1-0 lead once again.
That's a little floating line drive that just gets on beyond the glove of Josh Allen. And he just floats it right through that right center gap. And it's a pretty good swing on this pitch. It goes with the fastball, stays a little bit too much out over the middle of the plate. A left-hander, that doesn't take too much to just get the barrel down. And again, the Brothers striking first in now 3 consecutive games, and they're still threatening with runners in first and second.
Just one out as well. Josh Allen only 5'9", probably wishing he had a couple extra inches to try to leap up and grab that one. Choi Chun-Lin stepping in, the third baseman. And he'll take strike one. Speaking of Josh Allen, happy 35th birthday to JA7. 35 years young on this March 26th. The 0-1 from Timpanelli. Misses low on the breaking ball. We'll see how Vin Timpanelli tries to navigate the trouble. I mean, we've seen a lot of innings throughout this tournament so far where pitch count has become a real issue early and teams having to dip into their bullpen. The 1-1. This time to the left side and through the hole. That's going to be a base hit. Hold sign goes up, so it'll be bases loaded and just one out on the 4th single of the inning for the Brothers.
Again, it's just the contact so far that we're seeing from this Chinese Taipei ball club. Everything is barreled up, and maybe the one ball that was hit by Su wasn't all that hit hard, but this one is just through the left side of the diamond. Again, letting the ball travel, a ball that's down in the zone, and while you can avoid the home run ball here when you can pitch downstairs, but for this Chinese Taipei ball club, a team that is not known for the power and are so contact-oriented, everything that's on the ground here, especially on this quick turf, is just going to scoot on through the holes of the infield.
And that has been their game pretty much this entire tournament, and they have found some success. And that brings in Meng Chi Hu, the catcher. You see there, he's having himself a good tournament, batting 603 hits, the OPS up to 1,300.
Well, 3 runs batted in as well, someone who has certainly done damage with the bat in hand.
It's going to be a classic corners in setup here for the Cougars, looking to go home first, double play depth up the middle. Timpanelli misses outside on his first pitch and low.
Now, you're still a ground ball away from getting out of this inning and escaping with just 1 run given up. But 6 batters into the ball game so far, and it's been a lot of singles, and continues to roll for the Chinese Taipei.
Second pitch here is low, and all of a sudden, Timpanelli down 2 balls to no strikes. We talked about Meng Chi Hu a little bit, 20 years old, just his first year, and this is his first time taking any sort of swings with this Brothers team. So far, so good for him. Looking to make it even better. The 2-0. And back to the right side. Allen lays out, but he cannot make the play. That is 1 run in, and right behind him another Brother. So that is 2 runs scored in a 3-run frame so far for Chinese Taipei, and an early 3-0 lead.
Again, it's just paper cutting to death. Single through the right side, single through the left side. That ball had eyes. Josh Allen making a good effort, but it's gone beyond him into right field. And again, it's because of the way this AstroTurf plays. That ball's going to bounce. It's going to skip. It's going to do so many different things except slow down. And right now, the Brothers continue to roll through this lineup. It's now the 7th batter of the inning, still only 1 out. Again, double plays possibly in order, but you need a ground ball hit right to one of your infielders in order to get that. And so far, everything has just been oh so much out of the reach of a couple of leather.
Choi Chun-Lin able to get to third base. So set up on runners at the corners once again. First pitch swinging and fouled off the leg of Choi Teng-Chen, the right fielder. Again, this is not the right fielder that the Brothers were going to have in mind for this tournament, at least seemingly. Shang Yu Lee, who's been doing the duties at right field, had a pickle play on the way between third and home plate, had a very nasty slide in. Saw him holding his right hand going into the dugout, and unfortunately not in this game this morning. The 0-1. Just misses high. Evens up the count. Second year in the league for Chen, 21 years old. Drafted by the brothers in the 7th round in 2024. 0 for 1 in his minors. That's all he's had so far in a brother's uniform. This one now going and drifting to the right side and foul. Timpanelli with an opportunity here in a 1-2 count. And once again, Trevor, we're seeing the pitch count starting to rise up in the first inning. 22 pitches for Timpanelli with just that 1 out. This is a very deep Cougars bullpen. We saw a lot of those arms throwing in the first game against Diablos. It's the 1-1. He gets him swinging on an outside pitch at 92 miles an hour. And we see Zach Veen, the lefty, warming up for the Cougars right now. So Timpanelli gets the swinging strikeout, a big one for him. His second of the inning and second of the game. The only way he's been able to retire these brothers so far. Bring up the 8-hitter, Sheng He Yang. First pitch missing for Timpanelli.
You can still escape with just giving up 3 runs. Your offense can explode at any moment. But this is such a big pivotal at bat here, especially with 2 outs and runners at the corners.
Just 1 hit so far for Yang in this tournament. He's 1 for 7. And this one now into left field and down for a base hit. That's going to bring in another run. And another single in this inning, but it has been effective for this brothers team.
Now 8th man to the plate, drives it into left field, and this is a spinner just below the knees, and it's dug out by Yang. He's able to just poke it over the shortstop Elvis Peralta's head. And again, this is just kind of a mix-up of you're getting your bearings. It's your first outing in a game since Timpanelli since September. So he's coming into this game, and he's having to pitch in a postseason-like atmosphere, at least with the intensity that comes into this tournament. And right now he's getting a mound visit from the infield. It just really comes down to he's hitting in his spots, but so far it's just been contact after contact after contact. It's been a lot of singles in the 4th run of the inning crosses.
Quick talk there from pitching coach David Holmberg with his pitcher Vin Timpanelli. And this brothers team, the first game they put up 2 runs in the first inning. Their second game yesterday, 3 runs in the first inning, and now up to 4 runs in the first inning. It just seems like steady improvement as these young athletes start to get more and more comfortable at the plate and more comfortable with the competition that they're seeing. The 9th man to the dish is Zequan Chain, the left fielder. He's first pitch swinging and fouling off.
You're seeing such short swings so far from all of these batters. Again, it's just the stubbornness to strike out. Now, Timpanelli has gotten 2 Ks so far in the inning, but you're noticing that everything is finding barrel, and it's just placement. It's almost like they're using a magic wand. They're telling the ball where they want to go.
The 0-1 in. Just misses on that inside edge. 1 hit so far for Zequan Chain in this one. This tournament, I should say. 1 for 4 and a couple of runs scored. And it has just been base to base, station to station, and it's working out for the brothers here in the first inning. Timpanelli misses low on that one, and it's 2-1.
It is just below the knees, but when you're not really struggling, but you're just looking to get something to break your way, just misses downstairs. And it's, again, another hitter's friendly count.
It's Meng-Chi Hu on second base, Sheng He Yang on first. Cougars looking to get out of this inning. Off-speed pitch floats on in, top of the zone for strike 2. See what Timpanelli tries to go with to get himself out of the inning. 2 strikeouts so far. And a fastball misses way high, 92 miles an hour.
He overcooked it.
And that was an easy take obviously, for this Brothers team, but they have done a really good job of being selective in this tournament, especially early, and trying to get pitches that fit the zone that they're designing in their head, and they've been taking advantage of it, and we've seen it in the first inning in every single game they've played. Runners on the move here on the full count. 3-2 pitch and fouled off the netting behind you.
Well, these morning games are also a bit of a grind, and it's over the course of the American Association season. You usually have a couple of those 11 a.m. start times, but a 10 a.m. start time, especially after your off day, maybe just a little bit, not as sluggish, but just trying to get your bearings and get yourself up to speed in this game.
It's the third morning game in a row, all 3 days for the CTBC Brothers. The first one for the Cougars, they played the nightcap on opening day. First pitch swinging fouled off to the right side. Being a big part of that Cougars postseason push when it was all said and done. They acquired him on a trade from the Sioux Falls Canaries, who they'd end up playing in the championship game in the American Association. But 5 2/3 pitched for Veen, only 3 hits, no earned runs in that postseason. So he's been on a bit of a heater, at least to close last year. And he is quickly ahead in the count here, 0-2 against Shrunlun Chung.
Well, from the Division II powerhouse Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego, drafted by the Minnesota Twins in the 18th round in the 2022 draft. Was also playing for a national championship in that 2022 season, came in second.
Used to coming in on long relief positions for the Cougars. The 0-2 with the bases loaded, and this one goes high, and it's going to hit Chung. That was 89 miles an hour, and something you don't like to see, especially this Brothers team, and have already taken their licks.
That's a fastball that just gets away from Veen.
It's good to see Chung already back up to his feet. Obviously no ill intent. I mean, bases loaded, 0-2 count. One that just got away, like you said. But it feels like we have seen the training staff of this Chinese Taipei team a little bit too much. And you see Chung shaking it off, being a tough guy, heading over to first base. Certainly earned this RBI that he just drove in. It was bases loaded, so Meng Chi-Hu will come around and score the 5th run of the inning for the Brothers. And that'll be another opportunity now for Chunlin Wang. One of only 2 outs for this Brothers team. He struck out to Vin Timpanelli. Kick off this inning, that felt like a while ago. First pitch to him. Low and outside for ball 1.
It's been a 22-minute top of the first inning so far. A lot of pitches thrown.
Lefty-lefty matchup with the bases loaded. Bean comes set. This one scorched off the netting on the left side and fouled. Wang, again, he's been a big part of the offense thus far for the Brothers. Despite that strikeout, he's getting another opportunity here. Just 22 years old, but he has a ton of experience already in the CPBL. A 7th round pick back in 2021. Debuted in 2023. 1-1, just can't get the snap to come back in. Make it 2-1. It's a tough spot for Veen to have to come in with the bases loaded here early in the game. Two-1, drilled to the left side and foul, leaving up the count at 2.
Well, not only that, you have all of your outfielders and infielders for Kane County. They've been on their feet for a while so far. It'll be very important for Veen to get out of this inning, and then for the Cougars on the other side to come back up to the plate and have one of their own lengthy innings just to give their defense a rest.
It's been 7 hits and 5 runs thus far, 1 hit by pitch in the 2-2 lineup.
A little different look for George Samus this afternoon after sending out one of the more dangerous lineups against the Diablos Rojos. But again, this is some of the best players the American Association has to offer, and Elvis Peralta had a very strong end to the season in 2025 with the Gary South Shore Railcats.
And he's having a strong start here in his debut in the CPBL with a base hit. Should say BCL. So Elvis Peralta leading off the inning and getting some wheels aboard for the Cougars.
He has 31 stolen bases on the season. He was only caught 11 times. And I talked to some of the guys with Kane County before the Diablos game, and they said you don't really need to steal when any single one of these guys on your ball club could go yard. However, when you're trailing by 5 early on, you want to see if you can manufacture any sort of momentum.
There's another look at that Cougars lineup. A lot of guys that are new, as you mentioned, in this group. It just runs deep and a lot of power still all the way through. And we saw guys like Dylan Thomas and this man Josh Allen have big games. Josh Allen batting near the bottom of the order yesterday, or I should say 2 days ago. Gets all the way up to second here as we see that pickoff move again. As Trevor mentioned, I mean, a lot of wheels over there for Elvis Peralta. Chen trying to hold him close. First pitch into Allen, first pitch swinging, going deep into left field, looking up his chain, and you can forget about it. Another blast for Josh Allen, and the birthday boy goes deep for a 2-run shot.
Welcome to the birthday bash, Josh Allen. It's his second home run of the tournament. He collects RBIs 3 and 4 on just one swing. 402 to left field off about 96.6 miles an hour. And again, that 31 launch angle, you can play that here inside of Estadio Alfredo Harpelou. Take a look, and that ball right off the get-go, that was going to find a seat.
Well, that's a big answer early for the Cougars in back-to-back games with home runs for Josh Allen. Just like that, 5-2. And what a way to introduce a young arm in Yanwei Chen.
And there's no panic from this Kane County Ball Club. So what if they're down 5 in the top half of the first inning? They know what lineup they have behind them, and then it just continues to run deep. All-star after all-star after all-star over the course of the 2025 season. And another one in Dylan Thomas comes up, who not only has experience at the major league level, but also has experience in this tournament.
His third appearance in this Baseball Champions League, 2023 with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. And then 2025 with the Cougars just last year. So definitely familiarity, and he certainly flashed that in game 1. Really big game for Dylan Thomas. You see there, 3 hits in the 600 average. Came across and scored 3 times as well. He was just really productive in that upper part of the order for the Cougars. And he's a guy that can do it all. Plays a good outfield, but he's got a lot of speed, decent power, good contact hitter. And now ahead 2-1 against Yanwei Chen.
I missed a chunk of the 2024 season due to injury, and it was the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks who were certainly missing his bat. Another postseason run in 2025, and a healthy Thomas helped him once again get to the West Championship Series.
The 2-1. Thomas watches it go. Now a nice hitter's count.
Well, he's someone who does not chase very often. You have to come to him. And again, when you have Jabari Henry sitting on deck, another walk could possibly put 2 more runs on the board with just one swing.
Thought about going on that one, held off, and he did not go around, says David Solis, our third base umpire. So a walk for Thomas. The rest of our umpire crew behind the dish is Carlos Leon. David Solis mentioned at third base. At second base, we got Edwin Hernandez and Janet Moreno taking over duties at first base. Third straight Cougar aboard. And that'll bring up big Jabari Henry.
116 American Association home runs, passing Reggie Abercrombie earlier in the 2025 season. A solo king in the AA.
161 of them. As he takes strike one, a guy that you would think on paper would thrive in an environment like this. The elevation being so high and how much the baseball just seems to be flying off the bat. 35 years old for Jabari Henry. He was in the Texas Rangers organization, drafted in the 39th round back in 2009. An FIU alum in Miami, Florida. And he's all about that sunshine down south in Florida, resides in Orlando. Can't blame the man. It's 1-1. Henry lets it go. It's been a little tough so far for Yanwei Chen to get ahead of these Cougar hitters. The outfield playing pretty deep. Jabari Henry's bat at the plate. Dylan Thomas with just a modest lead over at first. And a quick check on him. Gets back safely. The defense for this brothers team in the outfield, Zaihua Chen, Chen Lun Huang, and Chai Tang Chen. From left to right in the infield, Jay Chun Lin, Sheng Huan Yang, Cheng Shralun, and Xiao Yu Su, with Meng Chi Hu behind the dish. As Jabari Henry works a 3-1.
Strong postseason for Jabari. Batted .291 across the postseason. 5 home runs, 2 doubles, 17 runs batted in. .950 OPS to help get the Canaries to the Wolf Cup Finals.
An all-star last year with those numbers. He'll take the 3-1 here from Chen. Lays off and it's ball 4, so back-to-back walks for the Cougars. Still nobody out. And it just seems like it's a lot of tit for tat.
And this is the response that you are looking for. You go on the offensive side after a long defensive inning. You finally get your defense a chance to sit down, get off their feet, and get a chance to get some water, get under the shade. But not only that, you've already answered 2 of those runs on one swing from Josh Allen, and now you have the tying run already at the plate with one of the most threatening power swings across the American Association in Josh Raywald.
Raywald was good in the first game. 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. He also drew himself 2 walks, so very patient hitter. And a big opportunity for him here early. Cougars still chasing 3 runs, but it's been a very eventful first inning for both teams. See what Raywald brings with runners at first and second. He watches the first pitch all the way, and it hits the bottom zone for strike 1. Well, it's fitting for Josh Raywald to join the Canaries in 2019 after graduating from the University of Sioux Falls. It's been all about that North region in the United States from Burnsville, Minnesota, as he takes ball 1. Trevor, I know you're in Winnipeg a lot of the time. That area is just a little too cold for me.
Yeah, it certainly feels nicer today, around 61 degrees. But even in Sioux Falls right now, it is still in that faux spring area where it's on the edge of winter and spring.
Well, easy short sleeve decision for Josh Raywald. And back up the middle, drills this one for a base hit. The big turnaround for Dylan Thomas, and he's going to get around easy to score another run for the Cougars. Third base for Jabari Henry. And an RBI single for Josh Raywald.
Keeps it simple, takes it right back up the box, and this is a spinner that just hangs right out over the plate. Raywald doesn't do too much other than just send it back to his original sender. Now brings a Max Murphy with a tying run on first and represents the go-ahead run here in just the first inning. If you want to know what this game is going to be like, you're seeing a lot of offense early on from both ball clubs, a lot of base hits, and then, of course, the 2-run home run from Josh Allen. Still so much power at the plate through up and down through this order for the Kane County Cougars.
Max Murphy certainly not an exception to that. Had a big fly yesterday or 2 days ago. He's 3 for 5 in that game, a couple RBIs with that home run against the Diablos, where the Cougars just looked so impressive. It was a back-and-forth fight pretty much all the way through about the 6th inning before the Cougars just really turned it on and got a big upset win to start off this tournament. And now an opportunity for them to be the first team to get to 2 wins and really set themselves up in the driver's seat to being one of those final 2 teams come Sunday. Chen still kind of dancing all around the strike zone. It's 2-0 now to Murphy. Again, only 5 teams in the tournament this year. They each play each other once, and it just makes every game feel that much bigger, where if you drop a couple of these games, it feels like it becomes a very much long way to the top to get yourself to that game on Sunday. Only the top 2 teams as Murphy goes to the opposite field. This one lands just in front of Chen. That's going to bring home Jabari Henry, and we see Raywalt head to third base. Every single Cougar getting involved early in this one. And the score starting to shrink, 5-4 now.
Well, Murphy just
tied 5-5 off the bat of Claudio Final.
This is a pitch on the outside half the plate, and Final does such a good job of, again, just letting the ball travel, not trying to do too much with it. It's behind the runner. Murphy, again, knowing how deep Chen is playing and that ball's going to get to him so quick, he's able to take the easy turn to third base. He doesn't even need to see Chris Coase's wave sign. That's just more throwing it into automatic.
I believe that's the 3rd time now we've seen singles with runners going from first to third and then scoring on the play. It's just been consistent action and offense from this Cougars team. Still nobody out. And now Jack Scroshan's getting his first at-bat in this BCL tournament. Doing the catching today, the 27-year-old from Lafayette, Louisiana, went to the University of Kansas. It's with the Cleburne Railroaders in 2024 and 2025. Just signing with the Chicago Dogs, though, in the American Association. So he takes one outside.
In 2025, he opened the season up in the Los Angeles Angels organization, Class AA Rocket City, and came back to Cleburne for the 2025 regular season.
Another guy with some big league experience, at least in the minor leagues. A lot of those with the Cougars. We've seen a lot with the Diablos, Dantos in there as well. And a very patient approach now from Groshans as he's up 3-0. And it just seems like the Cougars are picking up right where they left off 2 nights ago against the Diablos. See what Groshans does here with the 3-0. Taken all the way, and it's an inside pitch regardless. So Groshan reaching first base and loading the bases.
And things just continuing to go haywire on the brothers after starting off this game, leading 5-0. It's now Kane County with an opportunity with the bases loaded. The 9-hitter Ray Zuber III gets a chance to swing.
And welcome to the tournament, Ray Zuber III. First time we've seen him, and he was on an impressive run with the Lake Country Dockhounds last year, 256.
11 home runs in the 2025 season, 81 games played with Lake Country. A guy who can do a little bit of everything on the base paths as well. Has good range out in the outfield. He's playing center field this afternoon.
Another guy with some ABL experience, one from each team. We were talking about that with the brothers yesterday. The Claxton Shield. So look over at Max Murphy on third base. Claudio Final on second, and it's Jack Scroshans on first. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2-1. Hammered but fouled to the left side. Seems like it's a competition right now by these Cougars on who's going to make this first out. We saw the brothers bat around. Cougars, unless we see some crazy triple play, will do the same. Don't put it past it. We've already seen a lot in this tournament. Quick check at second base on Claudio Final by Yu-Ting Liu. He'll get reset here for the 2-2 back home. Corners inching in here for the brothers. Middle infield in that double play depth. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. So Liu able to come back and get Zuber for his second strikeout of the tournament in the first today.
There's the first out of the inning as well, and that's a big movement for the brothers after just trying to figure out a way to cool off these Cougar bats. It goes with the breaking ball, and it just spins right underneath the hands of Zuber. After seeing a bunch of fastballs, turns the spinner around. It's really tough to go after that pitch after seeing upstairs heaters.
Well, it rolls the lineup back over, and Elvis Peralta started this whole thing off back in the first inning with a single, came around and scored. So we get ready for part 2 of this first inning.
We are almost an hour into this ball game, and we're still in the first.
A lot of offense. Still just one out. Peralta holds the swing, says David Solis. So quick 2-0 count to him. Both clubs burning through the starting pitching. Going to the bullpen early. It's 5 runs on 7 hits for the brothers, just consecutive singles, and now 5 runs on 5 hits for the Cougars. With another big fly by Josh Allen, who sits on deck. Big swing from Elvis Peralta, makes it 2-1. Seems like there's a little bit more control here by Yuting Liu. Is he starting to settle into this game? Off speed just misses low. A good take there by Peralta.
Class AAA experience with the Las Vegas and Oakland Athletics organization. The 2025 season in the Atlantic League with York and Gary South Shore Railcats in the AA.
It's a good season for Elvis Peralta. A guy to certainly look forward to here in the upcoming season as he takes one off the arm, and that's going to be our second hit-by-pitch RBI we've seen in this game, and it also will give the Kane County Cougars the lead.
Things are kind of rolling bad to worse now for the brothers, and it keeps on rolling along, and it's the guy who homered earlier, Josh Allen, stepping back in with the bases packed, and it's just been station to station, mostly for Kane County.
Josh Allen's second time here in the Baseball Champions League. He played last year for the Cougars. Also a part of both back-to-back championship teams on this Cougars team in the American Association. Was going to call it quits after the season last year and gave it some thought. Heard from his longtime manager, George Samus. Their relationship goes back to the St. Paul Saints before going to the Kane County Cougars. And George Samus called him up and said, listen, nobody's ever gone for the three-peat. Do you want to be the first? And Josh Allen said, you got me. And he's back one more year and here in the Baseball Champions League. Already 2 home runs to start his campaign and up in a big spot with the bases loaded. One for one today with a 2-run bomb. You see that batting average at .750. Good spot there by Yuting Liu. He's dropping into that inside corner for strike number 1.
Well, he's so patient at the plate. He led the American Association in the postseason with 9 walks.
It's a big part of his game. As you see him take there on that high fastball. Good elevation change by Liu, but Allen wasn't falling for it. Allen's longtime teammate Claudio Final standing on third base. You get a good view of Mexico City. Can't just barely see the mountains in the background. As the day goes on, they'll get more and more clear, and it is a beautiful sight line. As Allen puts another charge into left field for a base hit, and he'll pick up his 3rd RBI of the game as everybody goes station to station, and Claudio Final comes in. Thomas with a defensive swing hard to the left side and foul. Well, we mentioned it the 3rd time that Dylan Thomas has been a part of this tournament, and if anybody's got the experience and the leadership to help out these guys that are here for the first time, it's certainly Dylan Thomas. As he fouls this one off as well.
Highly respected around the American Association, not just by his teammates, but also when He goes into the All-Star game representing the West Division. And it seems like he gravitates a ton of guys around him, not just Major League experience, but also a top 10 human being.
And that's always good. Just re-signed with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks before coming down here to Mexico. And he has fouled off 3 straight now. So it's good to have Dylan Thomas sticking around the American Association for another year.
Just loves to play the game. I think you can say that about pretty much every single guy on that roster who's in that first base dugout. They wouldn't be here if they didn't enjoy it.
That is the truth. As Thomas does go down, or no, did he foul that one off? He did. Couldn't squeeze it, was Meng Chi Hu. So Thomas, 4 straight foul balls, is refusing to go down. Be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Base is still loaded, just 1 out. And a step off by Colin Che. He's played with Taiwan in the Asian Winter Baseball League, but first time representing Chinese Taipei here on any scale. I know we kind of touched on this yesterday, but regardless of how this tournament ends for the brothers, these young guys getting this experience to play against former major leaguers, minor league players, guys that might make it into that system anyway, is just huge for their confidence going forward and what they can bring to their respective leagues in the CPBL.
Eventually, you're going to see these guys make their way up the roster, and if any of these guys do crack that CTBC brothers, the big brothers, and the Chinese Professional Baseball League, they're bringing a wealth of experience back with them.
Thomas fouls off another one, and this lengthy at-bat continues.
One of the experiences is going to be how to play with a lead, and so far we've seen in this tournament they've had some difficulties holding that lead. We saw that today in just the first inning, leading up 5-0 going into the bottom of the frame, and they just haven't been able to just stop any sort of bleeding, and especially going back to the late stages yesterday when the Crocodiles came back and put a 6-spot on the board.
Another foul ball by Dylan Thomas. That is now 10 pitches. The next one will be the 11th pitch of this at-bat. Like the inning could get any longer. Almost at an hour for the first inning.
We're just 4 minutes away from doing that.
The young pitcher Colin Che trying to figure out what he can get here for Dylan Thomas to put him away. Goes with a low pitch, and Thomas able to lay off that breaking ball and run the count full. Longest at-bat of the tournament by far. 12th pitch coming up. It has been an epic lefty-lefty battle here in the bottom of the first. Just misses on the inside zone, and a well-earned walk by Dylan Thomas to bring in another run. And the Cougars go up 8-0.
I mean, 8 runs in just 1 inning is big enough as it is. Combine that with 5 runs in the top half of the 5th inning, or top half of the first inning. It just continues to roll its way through, and we are surely about to hit this 1 hour mark.
Brings up Jabari Henry. Walked his first time around, came around and scored. And now the base is loaded. Missing inside is Che, and he's got to be very careful with Jabari. See that little breaking ball just going a little too far inside. And now missing high and behind 2-0 against one of the most dangerous bats as far as power in this Cougars lineup.
13 combined runs here in just the first inning, and a 3-run lead is all the Cougars have at the moment, but they can double that here.
It's been some easy takes so far. Kind of pinching around Jabari Henry. Now Colin Che's got to dig deep in the bag of tricks to try to come back in this at-bat. Otherwise risks walking in yet another run. The 3-0. Henry taking all the way, and it's ball four. Four straight balls to Jabari Henry and back-to-back walks. Another run comes in. It's 9-5 Cougars in the fifth walk of the game. And let's just say fifth walk of the inning for the brothers.
Yeah, things are going from tough to bad to worse in this inning for the brothers. I mean, go back to their offensive side of things. They look so sharp coming into the game. Base hit after base hit after base hit, manufacturing runs. And then on the other side, they just cannot find a way to just stop this bleeding. Remember, there's still only just one out in the frame.
The Chinese Taipei bullpen is starting to get worked again. We've already seen 3 pitchers that have combined for 1 out in this game. Came with a strikeout by Ray Zuber earlier in the inning. 4 Cougars have already reached base twice in the same inning. And Josh Raywald steps back in with the bases loaded. He singled and came around to score his first time. Picked up an RBI. Another guy with a great pair of eyes. He is going to make sure he gets what he's looking for, especially with the 5th straight. Make it 6th straight ball thrown by Che. Finally pumps one in for a strike. It's Josh Allen on third, Dylan Thomas second, Jabari Henry on first base for the Cougars. And catches that outside edge. It's Colin Che. And a rare sight, a Cougar is down in the count, 1-2 now. Just that cutter breaking away and just catching the edge. 1-2. Raywald fouls it off and stays alive. It's an off day yesterday for the Cougars. And kind of a weirder schedule to have to play at night in such a high-profile game against the Diablos. It's a basic home game for them, having the day off, then having to come back and play in the morning. So Raywald takes outside.
Oh, and that off day really kind of gives you a chance to reset yourself, especially preparing for a morning game, getting yourself hydrated the night before, especially being in the sunshine where you're already in the dryness of the elevation, and then plus the extra bit of heat coming off the turf.
They will play the rest of the way through. A nice stop there by Meng Chi Hu on the bouncer in, and it runs the count full. If the Cougars pull out a win today, the worst they'll finish in the pool play is 2-2. Be the only team currently with 2 wins. There's currently 2 teams left with no losses. And outside and missed. Back-to-back-to-back walks by Ko-Lung Che, and another run comes in to score. That's Josh Allen. And the Cougars get to double digits with 10. And we're going to see another mound visit here. Possibly another pitching change. At the very least, a conversation. And it is going to be a pitching change. Wei-Shane Lin will be the new man on the mound for the brothers, the 4th in this inning.
When you've got such a young group of guys that you're playing with here, just helps you hopefully now settle the bleeding here in this first.
Stint with the Arizona League Dodgers and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes out in California in the Dodgers organization. But it is no small task for what he's dealing with here in the first inning. The Cougars have a real shot with just 1 out to not only hit through the lineup 1 time in the first, but 2 times. Max Murphy with an RBI single, his first time up. He is in with the bases loaded. Fouls this one off to the right side, almost some friendly fire.
Now Ray Zuber, he was going to decide to go down the other end of the dugout.
That's not a bad call. Definitely woke up some of the guys standing on the fence.
If you didn't get your coffee this morning, you just got a shot of espresso right at you.
Yeah, different strokes. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss there by Murphy. And he's down in the count 1-2.
I've seen that before from him. Takes big rips, especially when it's a hitter's friendly count. Trying to get his ace swing off. Still a little late.
And this is definitely the ace pitcher that the brothers brought with them. So he gets set for his 1-2. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the game against the Cougars, I should say. First of the game for Hui-Sheng Lin. And he sets down Murphy for out number 2. Just overpowering him with a fastball right down the middle. And for Lin, he's the only first-round pick on this brothers team that they brought to the BCL. Drafted in the first round in 2023. Carried a 4.66 ERA in the minor league, but was quick to get that up in 2025 when he made his pro debut, as it's a big swing from Final. 3-1 record with a 2.86 ERA, 12 strikeouts in his 2025 season. And you said it, Trevor. I mean, with all these young arms, Hui-Sheng Lin is definitely one that they can look up to for advice and things to help them going forward in their professional careers. Final fouls this one up just to the right of us. And I think off is the brothers. Chunlin Wang right back up the middle for a base hit. And that is now the first 6 batters, 1 through 6, at least in the order, all with a hit in this game for the brothers early in the second.
And this big old Baltimore chop back up the middle. And again, unless that is a ground ball hit right at one of your infielders, it pretty much almost has guaranteed base knock written all over it.
It's so fast going off the turf into that dirt. We've seen it all tournament long. Xiao Yu Su settling in now. The lefty for the brothers, and he takes one off the shoulder blade. Uh-oh, he's a little fired up about it.
And Jax Groshans immediately steps out in front of him, and yeah, that's frustrating. No one likes to get hit, but again, it's spring training for everyone. The release point is not going to be there, and you're certainly not trying to get that one up and inside. It ends up hitting the shoulder blade. You can understand the frustration of why you can be upset when you get hit, but at the same time, though, no one's trying to get things fired up, especially after we saw a 15 combined run first inning.
It is the second batter hit in that kind of upper body area by Zach Veen in this game. But you're absolutely right, Trevor. Certainly just a little bit of the wild thing going on for Zach Veen and just trying to get himself back into regular season form. But he's got early trouble now. The brothers at runners first and second. Nobody out. Wei Ta Su at the plate. Singled, scored RBI his first time up. That big first inning for the brothers. Being just missing on the outside. Cougars already starting to get an arm loosening up in the bullpen. So this one gets fouled off. Looks like it'll be Charlie Hasty warming up. Thank you, Trevor. Jai-Chun Lin with a 2-0 count. He takes one down the middle for strike one. Veen working his way back in.
Sounds like F1 is starting to do some warm-up racing around the track. I was hearing that earlier walking into the stadium today, and they've been certainly cruising around the track.
It'd be pretty awesome to see if they are going out there. It does sound like that, certainly. 2-1 here. And a good strike on the upper edge there by Zach Veen. Really, really cool feature here at Estadio Alfredo Harpelú. I mean, it's already such a beautiful stadium, but having the Mexico City F1 track, I mean, we literally have to go over a bridge that goes over the track just to get to the back part of this stadium, and it really makes it unique and stick out compared to other ballparks.
It's a whole athletic facility over here, and we're just not that far away from the airport as well, so it's really concentrated in just this one little sub-district here in Mexico City. In the city center, that's about probably, what, maybe 20-ish miles or so away from where we're at, so we're still considered the outskirts of Mexico City, and yet we're still in the heart of everything. The population here is so dense.
It's a full count at the plate. And a rocket to the left side, but foul by Lin. And I don't know what the overlap looks like, but man, what a the brothers and cut the lead down to 10-6.
Now the elevation plays a little bit more tricks on you. At sea level, that ball's going to be a line drive that's going to sink its way into the center of Zuber's chest. Instead, this ball just keeps on floating up, and his first step was good. It was back, but then he started coming in, and that's where he got into a little bit of trouble and immediately has to make a quick adjustment. Leaps up. He's lucky just to knock it down and keep it in front of him. But this is just, again, an outfielder who hasn't really seen balls at elevation like this before, and you're looking at now another potential run-scoring opportunity.
It goes down as an error on Zuberer. And the first run of the inning scored for the brothers as Choi Ting Chang fouls off the first pitch he sees.
That's just so difficult. Again, you had one day of batting practice on game one against Diablos where you could actually see the ball off the bat. And there's nothing you can do to replicate this anywhere except coming here to 7,000 feet above sea level.
And Zuberer's first time playing in the outfield in this tournament. It was Armand Upshaw in center field 2 nights ago. But Hasty doing good work at least hitting the zone. He has yet to throw a ball. And he's a guy that has certainly seen a lot of action. 184 appearances for the Canaries last year, 55 saves to his name. That is some good work. So he misses just outside, trying to get Chen to chase that one. Base is still loaded now after the air. Just feels like history repeating itself each half inning. The 1-2 misses high.
Well, it's ruled as an RBI single off the bat of who?
It was a tough play for what it's worth for Zuberer. I mean, the wind is starting to pick up just a little bit too. It could have been an off-speed pitch that just didn't look right coming off the bat. Just charged in too much. And now Choi Ting Chen coming all the way back. The 3-2 count. Nowhere to put him. High fly ball into right field. Coming in is Murphy. Tag is on. And he will try for the plate. See if there's a play here. It goes through, and it is not in time. So Wei Tu Su able to get the tag, and a sacrifice fly for Choi Ting Chen makes this game 10-7.
Another strong throw from Murphy. It looks like his feet were a little bit flat-footed. Again, with the way the elevation plays, that ball has just a little extra carry on it. Doesn't want to over or underrun it. Just about a half a second too late and a little up the line.
Saw Murphy just throwing some frozen ropes in the Cougars' first game, including a play at second where the runner was called safe after review. Murphy did get it there in time. That was all the way from the right field corner. Shang He Yang, 1 for 1 in this game with an RBI single, looking to add to that total. Set for the 1-0 is Hasty. He's able to find the zone in there, inside part of the plate for strike 1.
Albeit being a high-scoring game, it is tight, though. Just a 3-run cushion once again, and if this is going to be the story of the game, we can have ourselves a bit of a slugfest.
It's what it seems like early. 17 runs in just an inning and a third. Here's the 1-1. Gets him swinging. Nice pitch low and away there by Hasty. He's looked pretty confident since entering this game. I mean, very close to having 2 outs and really maybe only 1 run pushed across. Both those runs will be credited to Zach Veen in this one. As this one also lifted into right field. Murphy traveling in, calls off Josh Allen. Do have another tag. Murphy with another chance, and instead it's a bluff. by Lynn, and that was probably the right decision.
Way too shallow out in right field. Strong throw again for Murphy. Hits the cutoff man, Josh Raywald, right away. And it's just trying to bait a throw. See if Kane County makes a mistake, whether it's Raywald who accidentally deflects it or if the throw does go in. Groshans doesn't get a glove on it. You could possibly get a run, but you're just more or less trying to cause any sort of chaos there at third.
We've seen that a lot in the brothers' game, just faking steals, getting big leads, jumping around, just, as you said, trying to ensue any sort of chaos that they can. Any extra pressure onto the team as this is fouled off.
But that's the thing. When you're a young ball club, those are the types of things that work for you. When you're facing more seasoned professionals, there's a calmness about guys who have been in professional baseball over the last 5 years, and they don't fall for those types of tricks as easy.
Is Equan Shane at the plate? It's 1-for-1 in this one. Let's see. Watches the high pitch for strike 2. Well, even with 2 runs, this is a chance to be our lowest scoring half inning. Pasty can find the strike zone one more time. 2 crooked numbers in the first. 5 for the brothers and 10 for the Cougars. Shane staying alive. Groshans takes a big rip for strike 1. And a lot of these guys are obviously playing for Kane County when it comes to the American Association, but guys like Groshans and Jabari Henry, Elvis Peralta, Max Murphy, go on and on, are not. So it's good to just kind of have these different combinations and get that chemistry, not just off the field, but on the field as well, to try to put together the best team. Quickly behind 0-2.
All these guys know each other throughout the regular season. Either they played together against each other in college, against each other in the minor leagues, and of course they played each other throughout the regular season over the course of the last few years. So they all know each other, and it gets really helpful once you put on the same jersey and play for the same cause.
It's absolutely true. Back up the middle. Shula unable to field it, throws across his body for out number 1. So since coming into the game, Wei Sheng Lin has quieted the Cougar bats, 3 straight retired. 2 by way of the K, and now this soft grounder to second.
You can tell there's a different quality of pitching from Lin so far compared to a couple of the other guys. And there has been sparks of brilliance from these brothers pitchers, but again, you're facing guys who've been experienced professionals, and when you're a young rookie, you kind of get a welcome to professional baseball experience.
I think we definitely saw that in the first inning. It was all, credit to him coming out here, but 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, as this is a soft ground out of the left side by Zuberer. Tough play across the diamond, but being able to be made by Jui Chun Lin for out number 2.
Well, here's going to be the momentum inning, the shutdown inning. After getting 2 runs back on the board to get yourself a little bit closer, how are you going to be able to respond? And so far, it's been the brothers who have been responding well, getting 2 very quick outs here in this bottom of the second inning.
Well, for all the action that the Cougars got in the bottom of the first inning by scoring 10 runs, the brothers scored 5 of their own in the first and then 2 in the top of the second. So this is only a 3-run game, which the way this is going, we've got a football score right now in the bottom of the second. That is not a big deficit. So Elvis Peralta stands in for the 3rd time in 2 innings. It's 1-for-1. He was hit by a pitch 2nd time around in the first. He's come around and scored twice. And he's quickly ahead 2-0. And this brothers team has just come close a couple of different times. They had the lead on Dantos early in the opening game of this BCL. And this one turned on and ripped down the right field line by Peralta. He's got those wheels, and he's already thinking second. Ball gets away from Chen, and it'll be a stand-up double for Elvis Peralta.
Well, even if Chen were to field it cleanly, Peralta, he was thinking 2 out of the box as soon as he yanked it down the line. He's got such good wheels. He hits that pillow at first base with so much momentum. Even a clean play, no chance. That ball was smashed, though.
Puts the Cougars back in scoring position for Josh Allen. The man of the tournament so far on the hitting side for the Cougars. 2 home runs. 3 RBIs just in this game for the birthday boy. Shanglin comes set. First pitch is high to Allen. Started this inning off Shanglin with 2 ground outs, 2 quick outs. First time we've seen that on either side in this game. And if he can retire Allen, be the first time in a half inning we see no runs put across a 0 on the scoreboard. But there's still a lot of work to be done. The 1-0. Allen, sharp grounder to the left side and through. Getting the wave around is Peralta, and he's going to come in and score easy. Cutoff man is hit, and it's the 4th RBI of the game for Josh Allen in just 2 innings.
And this is just a good piece of hitting. Takes a fastball middle away, turns it around, and pulls it through the left side of the diamond. And again, with Peralta's speed, getting to second on the double, he can just walk on into home plate. Runs underneath his helmet as well.
3rd time Elvis Peralta has stepped on home plate. The Cougars stretch the lead back out to 4. It's 11-7. With Dylan Thomas standing in.
Slurpees, anyone?
Don't put it on my mind. I mean, at this point, we're wondering when lunch is going to be. Lunch might be looking more like 4 or 5 o'clock, like an early dinner.
Well, hopefully those street tacos down below will be open today.
Yeah, surely we got a runner or something for that, right?
Well, don't call me Shirley.
Dylan Thomas, 2 walks in this game. Came around and scored back in the first part of the first inning. Just very patient. The 1-0. Catches the outside edge. Nice pitch there by Wei Shanglin.
I mean, it was looking like it could be a shutdown inning. Get a couple of quick ground outs. Looking like it's going to be a breezy second. Next thing you know, another run's on the board, and we've seen runs in every single half inning so far.
Lynn misses outside, and it's 2-1. And, you know, we've seen it in the Diablos game. We've seen it early here with the Brothers game. This Cougars team is just contagious when it comes to the hitting. It seems like when one starts to go, the whole lineup starts to go. So even with 2 outs, you got to be careful if you're Lynn to not let this inning get away from you. And that high-quality retina continues for Dylan Thomas. He's ahead 3-1, looking for potentially his 3rd walk. But you know he's going to be eyeing something. And if he gets that pitch, he's able to drive it.
Well, he's sitting dead red. Look for someone to fall in that gap in left or right center field if he gets his pitch.
Josh Allen with a moderate leadoff first. Here's the 3-1. And he does drill this one into right field and down for a base hit. Allen is going to be able to go to 3rd because the ball is going to the fence out in right field. Allen rounds 3rd. He'll head to the plate and score, and Dylan Thomas gets all the way to 3rd base. Another run crosses for the Cougars. It's 12-7.
Well, he certainly was sitting dead red. That's a fastball middle in. Drops down the barrel on it right where he likes it. This ball is hit so firm, it takes one wicked kick and gets away from Chen in right field. Scorches all the way to the wall. And with Thomas's speed, despite him not looking like one of the more fleet of foot runners, he actually has some pretty decent wheels. Gets himself all the way around to 3rd. That's the 2nd time we've seen him have a base hit out to right field, and an error by a right fielder allows him to get to 3rd base standing up.
2nd error of the game now for the Brothers, and we kind of talked about this before, but just when you're driving in like that to try to field that ball cleanly and it gets behind you, it's a long way to that wall, especially with all your momentum coming forward. And if Dylan Thomas had, say, Elvis Peralta's speed, he might be not even on 3rd base. He might have crossed home.
Oh, he has such long legs in those strides. He picks him up and puts him down with ease as well. And again, when Dylan Thomas is healthy, he is one of the most dangerous bats.
We see Charlie Hasty going for another inning here in the top of the 3rd. Did a nice job kind of shutting the door on the Brothers in the bottom of the 2nd. He'll square off with the top of the order, starting with Shenlun Chung. Was looked good in this one. 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. See that batting average peaking now at 571. And we are now 5 for 5 on thrown bats, Trevor.
And that took a bite out of the Cougars bench. Everyone ducking for cover.
We've seen 5 games now in the BCL, and every single one of them has one bat throw. And you're right, this one is. You see David Holmberg, he's ducking out of the way, and it had the ricochet back onto the guy standing on the fence. And Chung will actually, I think, grab a new piece of lumber.
Can't really read lips from up here, but at least on the replay system, I think George Samus had a 2-word for what was coming towards him.
And it's a swing and a miss. So a nice start for the top of the third for Charlie Hasty. Retiring the man with the best batting average on the team in this tournament, Trelun Chung, gets him swinging. You can see how far out in front he was on that pitch. I mean, definitely tied him up. Looking to square around a bunt. It goes right back to Hasty. Fields it cleanly, flips it over to first for out number 1. Should say out number 2.
Yeah, things are going well now for the Cougars on the pitching side. You get that first out, the strikeout. You can settle things in. Then you get the easy bunt right back to the mound. Hasty, just a nice little pitcher's fielding practice. Nice easy toss, and now you're just 1 out away from your first clean inning of the game, and then you can go right back on offense and see if you can just add on to your lead.
Be interesting to see what the plan is for Hasty. Again, traditionally in the American Association, a closer. So he pumps in a strike to Xiao Su. But in here in the 3rd inning, but it has definitely been the most consistent arm we've seen from the Cougars in this game. See what the plan is for how deep they want him to go. He is looking rock solid so far here in the top of the 3rd. He's got Xiao Su with an 0-2 count.
Well, in a way, he needed to kind of close that door in that 2nd inning. Things are starting to look a little prickly. He was able to come in and slam things shut.
See if he does the same here. Back up the middle. High chopper to Josh Allen. Fields it cleanly in our first 1-2-3 frame of the game. The Cougars hold the brother a little bit on the pitching.
You have such a lengthy first couple of frames that it just seems like everything now at this point is under control. I mean, when you get the first 2 outs with the first couple of batters, at least on both sides, when we saw from King County's offense that they were still able to spark something up. On the other side, Charlie Hasty shut down at bottom to top of the order for the brothers.
Well, this Cougars team has just proven to be difficult to put away. All game against the Diablos 2 nights ago, and now so far this morning against the brothers. Raywald certainly at the top of that list as he swings and misses for strike 2.
He's just got such lanky arms is that it doesn't take much for him to put a big swing on something.
He's looked good in this tournament, drawing a lot of walks, scoring a lot of runs. See what Wei Sheng Lin has for him here to try to put him away on this 2-2. This one flies right near us. Trevor, you could probably go get that one. Yeah, if you want to pick up lunch as well, that'd be swell.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back, boys.
So we got a 2-2 count. Just misses that outside edge. You saw Meng-Chi Hu holding that spot, trying to get it. Runs the count full. Trevor has actually left the booth. See if we can see him going after that ball here in a minute. So it's a full count, though, in the meantime to Raywald. Waited patiently for it, but grounds it to the right side. Trelung fields it cleanly and gets out number 1. Right on the 30th pitch. It was a patient approach by Raywald, just unable to get much launch angle on it. Keeps it as a hard roller on the ground, and Trelung's been making nice plays at second base all tournament. Can of corn for him. Max Murphy stepping in, the first strikeout victim of the day on the Cougars side, but he did have an RBI single in that first inning as well. Seems like you can say that about everybody in this Cougars lineup, top to bottom, getting involved in some capacity. What you got there, Trevor?
Find any tacos, but I did find a baseball.
You know, if you had to bring back one thing, I'm not sure the baseball is what I would have picked, but it is cool.
Says you. First thing I was grabbing would be a baseball.
I think 2 out of the 3 people in this booth would probably prefer the tacos.
Oh, we got snacks in here so far. We're good.
They have been taking care of us here. WBSC and CBL all on top of it here all week long. Thank you, BCL. See what the 2-0 looks like for Murphy. Swings and misses at it. A nice dropper there by Hui Sheng Lin.
I walked like 25 steps, and I'm winded.
That's what the elevation will do to you. It's been a bit of a storyline. That misses outside, 3-1. Not just from the players. I mean, we've been hearing it from some of the umpires as well. Talking about just, you know, putting on the mask and the outfit, especially behind home plate, and just having to deal with the elements, especially on some of these long games when it's hot. Can take a lot out of even an umpire out there on the field here in Mexico City. Hard ground ball to third base, but fielded cleanly by Lin. Throws across the diamond in time, and that's back-to-back outs here for the brothers.
A couple of routine ground balls to open up the bottom of the third inning, and now we're starting to get that settling in side of things. And that's usually how it happens sometimes. You get a couple of long scoring innings in the first 2 frames, and then that's when the fatigue sets in, because it's not just the pitchers, it's also the batters because of just how much action was going on.
Certainly been the case. Claudio Final settling in for the Cougars. Takes a pitch outside. Final 1 for 2 in this one, has a strikeout, but an RBI single, came around and scored. Batting average still high at .571. So he fouls this one hard off the back netting. Evens up the count at 1. What a close to the year in the American Association for Claudio Final, the Miles Wolf Cup MVP. A grand slam in extra innings of Game 5 of the Miles Wolf Cup final, and a big comeback effort to lift the Cougars to victory. And he gets into this one into left field, drops it right in front of Chain, and that's his second hit of the day.
That's a broken bat. That's a fastball that's seeking its way to the inside half of the plate, maybe even off the plate. Good look on the replay. Oh, yeah, he lost some lumber. But that's what we're talking about, again, with the elevation. Take you back to sea level. That's probably about maybe 40 feet shorter, and that's an out number 3, innings over. Instead, Claudio Final is able to muscle it into shallow left field and dump it in for a base hit.
That was a great angle, too, of that bat break. It almost looked like it was made of rubber the way he was bending. We've seen a lot of that in this tournament as well. Jack Scroshan's getting another opportunity. He takes strike 1. Grosjean still looking for his first hit in this tournament. He did walk in that big first inning for the Cougars and came around and scored. The 0-1. Nicely dropped in there by Hui Sheng Lin. And man, he is really starting to mix up his pitch as well. One of the most prominent arms in Chinese Taipei, specifically out of Taiwan. Sitting at 40 pitches right now. But you see the 15 balls, 25 strikes. That has certainly been helping him out. And this one, though, getting away and all the way to the backstop. That's going to be an easy take of second base for Claudio Final on the pass ball.
8 strikeouts, only allowed 39 walks. 48 runs, 44 of which were earned. Only 4 home runs allowed. And he does a really good job of pitching to poor contact, but he also gets a ton of strikeouts. Him and Jake Dykoff were a 1- and 2-man punch in a very, very talented Fargo starting rotation last season.
Well, it's just so deep with this pitching staff for the Cougars that they've brought here to the Baseball Champions League. It's Weita Su that's introducing the new arm. He is 1 for 1. He's reached both times, though, and came around and scored. So he's been dangerous in this lineup today for the brothers.
And a hit by pitch his last time up when he was facing Zach Veen, the left-hander. This time seeing the right-handed arm of Krieger. So things look a little bit different from this side.
He is ahead 3-1. And Krieger just missing that outside edge, so it'll be a leadoff walk for Weita Su. Just the second walk of the game for the Cougars. It's an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts for Charlie Hasty, who really came in and just kind of steadied the ship for the Cougars after giving up those 7 runs in the first couple innings. Jui Chun Lin, another guy that's reached both times, stepping in. First pitch down and away from him, 273, 3 hits, 636 on that OPS, as you're seeing on the stat line. 2 RBIs in this game already. And right back up the middle. Allen flips it over, and the throw to first in time. The old 4-6-3 from Allen, Peralta, and Raywalt for the first 2 outs of the inning.
That's big. You give the leadoff walk up, and then again, we talked about his ability to pitch to poor contact. It's a ground ball, and this is one of the only times you will see just a routine ground ball here in this ballpark. It's right to Josh Allen, and it's tailor-made for Peralta.
Nicely done routine, making it look easy between the middle infielders. And even if that throw was a little high by Peralta, you got Josh Raywald over there who's a basic tower. It's hard to throw one over his head. But overall, picture perfect. Ming-Chi Hu stepping in now. It's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Hit that ball into center field that Zuber had a hard time tracking down back in the second inning. It's a 2-0. Catches the outside edge, strike 1. Shaping up to be another beautiful day in Mexico City. We've certainly gotten lucky with the weather. That one bounces in and away. All week long, we've seen the sun popping out, the weather kind of staying in that 60 to 70 range. That's Fahrenheit, of course. It's just been cool being here 2 games a day and just in the morning seeing all the mountains kind of hidden by the fog as a walk is produced by Ming-Chi Hu to get himself aboard. And then as the day goes on and it gets a little bit more clear, not only do you see the mountains, but the houses going up the mountains. It's a very interesting landscape and a pretty cool backdrop to see up here in the press box. Juting Cheng now, 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in that second inning. Krieger misses high and away. A little bit of command lost over the last batter and the start of this one now for Krieger.
And a guy who usually fills up the zone as well as anyone else on this ball club. And again, he's new to the elements as well, trying to get his bearings in check. He threw a little bit during the Diablos game in the bullpen, but right here he's just finding his way through a new mound, a new scenery, and again, it gets back to baseball, but for Kyle Krieger, he's just going to get back to work before he gets back in the dugout.
Well, he's coming back nicely here. Loses the first pitch of the ball, but now 2 straight strikes. Let's see, Clearly went around there for Chu-Ting Chen. One strike away for back-to-back no-run innings for the Cougars. Won't be on this pitch, though, as it's low and away.
Well, not only that, the last time Krieger came in from the bullpen was back in his days in the Marlins affiliate, so it's a little bit of a different scenario in his preparation, too.
See what he does on the 2-2. Skips it in, and this one gets away from Groshans. So all of a sudden, Wei-Ta Su standing on second base. Or excuse me, Meng-Chi Hugh standing on second base. And a full count back at the plate against Chu-Tung Chen. Pitch from Krieger is high and inside, so back-to-back walks issued. His third of the inning. So definitely struggling a little bit with the control, and that's going to cause Groshans and Final to come over and have a chat with him.
I mean, it really does come down to a new environment and pitching in it. Like, everything you're releasing is just so much different compared to what you're used to. I mean, again, we've talked about it over and over again, so to try to avoid sounding like a broken record, there's just no way of preparing for this other than going up to basically the Rocky Mountains and throwing up there. So it's just, you have to find your way from the bullpen into the game to make those adjustments to get yourself back to where you're at. And it comes down to also with your breaking stuff too. Nothing is spinning the same exact way here that it would back home. So everything is kind of going against you. You just have to fight the elements.
And I think it's smart by pitching coach David Holmberg and George Samus, the manager of the Cougars, to let all these guys in the bullpen get some action in these first two games. We have not seen a repeat pitcher out of the pen yet for the Cougars. So he's trying to get everybody acquainted, so when this, hopefully gets to the finals if you're the Cougars, all these guys will be ready and have at least an opportunity to pitch going into that game. And Krieger falling behind early against Yang now. He does have 2 outs thanks to that double play. Produced a ground ball against Joy Chun Lin. But 3 straight balls to Sheng He Yang. So pressure pitch here to avoid loading the bases. Does sneak that one in on the inside edge for strike 1.
They're going to give Krieger every opportunity to get out of this jam himself. No one moving around in the Kane County bullpen at the moment.
Yang is 1 for 2. Puts this one back up the middle. Cleanly fielded by Allen. Flips it to Peralta at second. And able to get out of the jam despite the 3 walks. Krieger producing 2 ground balls to second base. Currently, Zuber is the only man not to reach base on this Cougars lineup. So maybe just trying to sneak one in and get his day started. He watches one low for a 1-1 count now.
Well, what that bunt also does, or at least showing it, it at least draws the infielders moving around. And that might either A, open up more holes, or B, it cuts down, especially the third baseman's range. And for Zuber, doesn't need much for him to reach first with his speed.
1-1. Right on that outside edge by Sheng Lin. Perfectly placed.
Pitch, yep.
Cheng Shulung, the second baseman for the brothers, shifted ever so slightly to the right, creating a bit of a hole right back up the middle, just right of second base. If Zuber can power one back up the middle, this 1-2. And instead, pops one deep into right field. Chen backing up now right near the warning track and makes the catch. He just got underneath that one, Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was going to be a very shallow pop fly, and again, it hits its apex. It still keeps carrying. It ends up being a couple of feet shy of the warning track. Man, it just drops the head, and yep, got a little cappy on it. he finds more barrel. That ball should have enough to fly out because of the elevation. But good things to come, though, when you get that ball elevated, knowing that you're in the right direction.
Well, we've already been talking about him, but really give some credit to Wei Sheng Lin. Hey, just coming back after really getting hit hard on that line drive back up the middle against Dantos in game 1 of this tournament. Coming back in here and steadying the ship. I mean, it was looking pretty dire in that first inning. With 10 runs being given up, it felt like this entire lineup for the Cougars was never going to stop. And despite giving up 2 runs, Wei Sheng Lin has really settled into this game and has at least kept the brothers within striking distance. Yes, it's 5 runs, but they scored 5 in the first inning, so we know it's possible.
And they can manufacture. And Kyle Krieger had a couple of walks, but again, we saw that last night where Los Dantos was able to take advantage of those walks. So free passes certainly do mean some possible impending doom.
I think an issue, though, you have to think about for the brothers is late game. Wei Sheng Lin can't go the entire game. At some point, you're going to have to put somebody else in.
That's the one thing that they have not been able to find is that back-end guy who can shut things down and secure some, at least, quality innings in the end of the game where you need him the most.
Yeah, and we saw that against Cuba. I mean, they had that 6-2 lead all the way into the 7th inning. It looked like that they were going to take that game over and get their first win. Instead, they just couldn't have any reliable pitching. These young arms let them down, and at the end of the day, the Crocodiles able to walk it off in the 9th and get to 1-0. Meanwhile, it's 1-2 at the plate to Peralta. He hits a soft grounder to second. Sherlung able to field it cleanly and over to first for out number 2. First time Elvis Peralta has not reached first base.
Yeah, this top of the lineup for Kane County has just been cruising along with Peralta, Allen, and Thomas. But it really is that top half of the order that was pretty much given everything to them on a silver platter in that first inning. Base hit, 2-run home run, walk, then the RBIs from Raywald Murphy and Phenol just kind of got them in cruise control.
Josh Allen seems to be in cruise control at the plate during this tournament. 3 for 3, that 2-run homer you mentioned in the first. It's 4 RBIs already here in just the 4th inning. Get a look at that stat line. Batting average up to .833 now.
6 RBIs just so far in the tournament.
He's been having himself a great couple of days. And he's a guy that made the trip last year for the Cougars, represented. So he's been made aware of the elements, got a chance to catch up to him before this tournament started, and he's definitely taken some things from last year's tournament and able to apply it and teach it to some of the new guys as well. See, he watches one float in, mostly with the elevation, but also the field and how quickly the ball shoots off that. Things we've been talking about in this broadcast that maybe if you're a player you don't think about right away, but just to have it in the back of your mind. And that's what Josh Allen's been doing for the Cougars for a long time, just that veteran leadership presence. Here's the 2-1. Allen barrels this one, but it's tracking foul. Now 2-2.
Those are video game type numbers for Allen.
It's pretty ridiculous so far. See if he's got anything left. This 2-2 with 2 outs. And that one just missing on the outside edge. Looking like the right call to get it to 3-2.
About ball and a half off, and that's that spinner that sometimes it's been working, sometimes hasn't, but when it does work, it falls right off that end table.
Well, you know Allen will get his money's worth. 3-2 count now against Lynn. Looking to keep the inning alive. Makes some soft contact and fouls it off the dugout of the brothers. We'll do it again. You see that pitch count?
Quite borderline indeed.
Well, you saw Grosjean's already trying to throw the ball around. Instead, it's a very soft hit ground ball. Claudio feels it cleanly with the bare hand, but no time to make the throw over at first. So basically a swinging bunt base hit for Zequan Chang.
Well, that's frustrating. You get a good quality pitch, you get a rollover, and instead there's just no chance for Finale to make a strong throw on this, especially with the speed. You think you had a strikeout on the check swing. Instead, the next pitch, it's a little nubber that doesn't even leave the infield turf.
Just the first man on this brothers team to have multiple hits now. that swinging bunt. And something that's consistent top to bottom with this Brothers team as well is just the speed. I mean, when you get those little ground balls, it's hard to make a play in the infield. And now we see Claudio Final pretty much all the way in the grass. And instead, this goes to the right side and fair, just down the right field line. Here comes Chen churning around the bases at third. He gets the wave around. We're going to have a relay play, and instead Chen probably wisely goes back to third base. This is a stand-up double, though, for Shrelun Chung at the top of the order. And all of a sudden, second and third, nobody out.
It's picked cleanly out of the corner by Murphy, and he gets this relay into Josh Allen so quick. And it keeps the runner, Chen, held at third base. So this ball's roasted into the corner. It just keeps it fair in the chalk. Has a very good carom, actually, off the retaining wall and then off the wall itself in right field. And again, Murphy putting a strong throw in on Josh Allen. And as soon as that throw gets in, it's a late stop sign at third to keep the runners in check.
It looked like it was going to be an easy score with Chen's speed. But if anybody's scouting report is changing on the Cougars, it's got to be that arm from Murphy in right field. He has certainly been showing it off these 2 games the Cougars have had. Now ground ball up the middle. Runner is going to go for the plate. Peralta, though, goes to first and gets the out. So they'll trade an out for a run, and the score is 8-12.
Certainly trading out for a run if you're Kane County. Just need to get that first out of the way in the inning. Elvis Peralta giving the young rookie and Chang a, hey, heads up, this ball's coming.
Yeah, he was kind of just standing right in the way there.
Well, and Elvis does what you're taught to when you're growing up playing this game. If the runner isn't going to move, he is stationed on the base, but you drop that arm down, and not trying to hurt anybody, but you're trying to give him a little bit of a scare just to learn, hey, you got to be careful out here.
Yeah, I mean, you got a play to make if you're Peralta.
And he certainly isn't going to move himself.
That's right. And you shouldn't have to. Xiao Yusu, I should say. 2 runs scored for him in this one. And he's got a runner at second base now and an opportunity to drive in another one for the Brothers. Just 1 out so far, but he is quickly behind 0-2. It was a whirlwind first inning, 15 total runs. Both teams settling in the third and the fourth, no runs. And then now the Brothers breaking that streak here in the top of the fifth. As this one now gets into the corner, or I should say the gap in right center field, drives in another run easy. And a stand-up double for Xiao Yusu.
This is that spinner from Krieger that does not do anything but float. It stays right out over the heart of the plate. And we've seen that a lot from Su so far in this tournament. Check that. It's a fastball that runs back onto the outside corner. And he's done such a good job of letting that ball travel. And we've talked about this time and time again. Any ball that rolls to the wall is a triple threat. Now, Su doesn't have the triples like speed. But again, it's just one hit after another. And the Brothers, they're not going away.
Bullpen starting to get active for the Cougars, or at least it looked like it was for a moment. Weita Su settling in. It's 2 for 3 so far. Should say 1 for 3. Reached twice, though. Got hit by a pitch back in the second inning.
Just a nice, easy 1 for 1 day. A couple of plate appearances.
Certainly take those.
Though I don't think you take getting hit near the ear hole, though.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lower. Take one off the thigh or something. Just came around and scored twice, has an RBI as well. The 1-1 from Krieger. Sneaks it in for strike number 2.
That's part of the zone that Krieger likes to live there with that breaking ball. That sets him up now at 1-2. He can kind of go pretty much anywhere he wants.
Definitely has already changed the eyesight down as he tried to go back up top. He's got a lot of options. See what he does with the 1-2. Goes back with the breaking ball. Nicely knocked down by Groshans. Keep the runner at second base. Sue's ready. Going in the opposite field, but foul. And close game this morning, as it has been every morning so far in this BCL tournament. So the Cars continue to roar on that F1 track, and another pitch inside by Krieger makes it 3-2. It's amazing with no fans or any of the productions that you see at night in this Diablos Rojos home field, how clearly you can hear those race cars going around the track. "3-2. And he misses low. Fourth walk of the morning for Krieger. And now runners at first and second, just one out.
Now, usually so pinpoint control is just kind of getting things a little bit away from him. A little sporadic around the strike zone. Well, double play is back in order, though. There's a ground ball away from getting out of this.
Second time he's walked Wei Ta Su, but he has had success against Joy Chin Lin. Got him to ground into a double play back in the fourth inning. One for two so far today for Lin. It's 2 RBIs to go along to his name. This one now into center field, drifting over Ray Zuberer, but he gives way to Dylan Thomas, who makes the catch for out number 2. Good communication out there by the outfielders, Dylan Thomas and Ray Zuberer. This one kind of started near center field and just kept floating over to left, and a good job by Dylan Thomas to take control on that one, which is mostly with a fastball. And he'll come back with his secondary pitches to try to get that weak contact.
He's going to have a handful, though. 3, 4, 5. Dylan Thomas, Jabari Henry, and Josh Raywald.
Certainly going through the gauntlet. You see Dylan Thomas's number there. 667. He is having himself a really good tournament as well. And a lot of that has to do with what he did there. Another walk for Dylan Thomas, his third of the game. Such a patient hitter. Seventh of the game overall for the Cougars. Leadoff man aboard once again. Wei Shenglin did good work for Chinese Taipei. 3 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts to keep him in the game. Just saw the numbers there for Lin. He had a rough outing his first time out, and again, we talked about it. That has been kind of the issue with this Chinese Taipei team. It's just been tough to find consistency out of the bullpen. And I think that comes with just inexperience. A lot of these guys, I mean, fresh out of high school, couple of games in the minor leagues, and you're going up against former big leaguers and guys that have been in major league systems and minor league systems for a very long time. They've seen all the tricks that pitchers might have. But at the end of the day, it'll be a good experience for this young brothers team. Jabari Henry officially 0 for 1 in this game. He's got 2 walks. It's part of the big runs scored in that first inning. One. Kicks away, and right away, Dylan Thomas heading for second base, and he is standing up. What a heads-up play by Dylan Thomas.
That's such a smart base running decision, knowing that it is a breaking baller type count. And this is an off-speed pitch that just falls right in front of the plate, and Thomas immediately breaking when he sees that breaking ball downstairs. That's why he's in about 2 paces ahead of the throw.
Yeah, you got to make that decision right away, and that's what he does. It was a good stop by Meng Chi-Hu to not let that go to the backstop, but in the end it didn't matter because of the quick decision-making and the speed of Dylan Thomas. And now Jabari Henry sitting in the box with a good count, 2-1. Big swing there by Henry, but a miss. Makes it 2-2.
He's got a bit of a smile on his face. He knew that was a pitch that he could do damage with, just a tick behind it.
Longtime member of the American Association. Already talked about it, the home run king in that league, and it has been a pleasure to have Jabari Henry as a part of it for so many years, and At least one more year to come. A lot of big moments. I know one you probably don't like to talk about, Trevor, but the Winnipeg Goldeyes taking a no-hitter all the way to the 9th inning.
That was in the bottom of the 11th
Bottom of the 11th. And Jabari Henry with a walk-off home run, the only hit of the game for the Sioux Falls Canaries.
At the very bottom of the fair pull down the right field line. Maybe 310 feet if it was that distance.
And he's going to collect his 3rd walk of the game. So clearly the power on the mind of Chinese Taipei with Jabari Henry. 2nd walk issued now by Cheng Lin.
It doesn't get any easier with Raywald. I mean, you are just really in a gauntlet of 3 batters in a row, 3, 4, and 5. But then it continues with Murphy and then Final. Groshans even has some pop. We've seen that before over the American Association. It really is such a depthful lineup, 1 through 9, and it doesn't matter which lineup George Samus has put out there. It's this lineup that he's got rolling here this afternoon. We saw it in Game 1 back on Tuesday against Diablos. It doesn't matter who he puts in this lineup card. It's got guys who can produce up and down this order.
It's a really impressive team. And, you know, George Samus, we kind of talked to him a little bit, too, before this tournament started about things he was looking for from last year to this year. And he's kind of in the same boat as Josh Allen. We're just getting that experience and getting to understand the elevation and the kind of players that are needed for a tournament like this. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of Cougars players, and that's deserved, being the champions in the American Association, but carefully picking who else comes as well. And I think he's done a great job when you look at guys like Dylan Thomas and Max Murphy and Fernandez in that first game, how well they have really fit into this roster. It's a ground ball softly hit to first base and a flip over to the second baseman, and it's safe. How about the hustle by Josh Raywald?
We're going to hold things up. We might have a challenge, and they're not even going to take a look at the rest of the bench. Immediately, Cheng Ping is going to call for the challenge system, so here we go. Give up free outs with errors. And we saw that what happens when you give the Cougars that back in the Game 1 against Diablos. It was the error in right by Marmoleos, and that extended an inning and allowed Kane County to tie a game up early on. And it was kind of a struggle. That offense was slow to get going, and eventually it would lead to them taking the big lead and getting the victory in hand. But we saw that with Los Santos. You can't give good teams free out.
Last season for the Cougars, he was a big part of the back end of that bullpen, a big setup man, usually coming in that 7th, 8th inning before Jake Gozo. It's behind 1-0 and catches that upper edge for strike 1.
44 games, 1 save recorded, a 2.47 ERA, 47 1/3 innings of work, 41 strikeouts, just 13 runs, all of them earned. It was really important for that back end of the bullpen for Kane County.
Especially in the postseason. Went 9 2/3, 1-0 record, and carried a 0 ERA through it all.
That's so important to have, is when your setup man is giving your closer an opportunity to come in fresh and not have to worry about possibly 4-out saves.
You get 7, 8, 9 in this Chinese Taipei order. So this one grounds to the left side and just foul. Final tried to field that on a backhand. Instead, evens the count at 2. Just 0 for 1 for Chu-Tang Chen. Despite 3 at-bats, had a strikeout in the first inning, a sacrifice fly in the second, and walked in the 4th. See what Nissen goes with here on the 2-2. This one drilled into left field. Backing up is Thomas, looking up and into the bullpen. It is the first home run of this tournament for Chinese Taipei, and it comes off the bat of Chu-Tang Chen.
He gets something out on the inner half of the plate, gives it a pretty good ride. Off the bat, 405. Off the distance, 405. Off the bat of just 95 miles an hour. Yeah, the elevation will certainly play there. He got all of it.
Yeah, he barreled that one up for sure. Definitely the hardest hit ball we've seen from this brothers team.
He knew it off the bat. A young kid getting a chance to swing it and gets one out of the ballpark in a game where it just seems like momentum could turn at any moment, and you're looking for any sort of spark if you're this Brothers Ball Club.
Well, they are certainly keeping themselves around. Despite some big innings and crooked numbers from the Cougars, they lead by just 5. See what Yang does now. Watches strike 1. A nice location by Logan Nissen.
They're talking about the walks issued by the Brothers pitching staff, and there's a reason why Kane County is leading by 5 runs, yet they have 1 less hit.
All those walks have certainly added up, as Nissen does a really nice job to come back. We saw this against the Diablos as well, and he still got a pitch to go, but he gave up the home run and then immediately struck out the next batter he faced. And he did that all season as well in Kane County. Just that one-track mind and short mindset to just go on to the next guy and get the out.
You can live with solo shots.
Absolutely. Especially in a game like this. 8 walks, by the way, by the Brothers in this one. Has been 5 by the Cougars, 4 from Kyle Krieger. Finishes his day with 2 earned runs, 3 hits, and 2 innings pitched. Those 4 walks to go along with it. Meanwhile, Xinghei Yang able to even up the count 2-2. Fouls it off, keeps himself alive. Nissen doesn't necessarily overwhelm you with power, can get into the 90s, but it's more about location and just mixing up the speeds. He's an East Division All-Star in 2022. He just missed out being an All-Star last season as part of the last man voted in. And now falls behind 3-2.
Oh, this is such an important pitch here. It gets you to the 8-hitter with either 1 man on or 1 away and a run already in.
It's the bottom part of the order as well. Again, we've seen production from this Brothers lineup as Yang refuses to go down. It's just so different than any other style of the teams we've seen so far in this tournament. I guess we've seen all of them, all 5 teams. This is definitely the team to me that stands out as far as just the way they play baseball.
Contact first at the bats. And played pretty strong defense so far. Just a couple of errors so far in the tournament.
And it's a low pitch, so Nissen ends up walking Yang after being ahead 0-2.
They're
6th
so
walk.
pesky.
They are. It's the 6th walk of the game.
That's the other thing. They really do a good job of controlling that strike zone, taking their free passes when they get them. They don't go chasing all that often.
We've seen that all tournament long as well. It's just, you know, one former major leaguer, at least in a major league system. That is the pitcher that we saw earlier in Hui Sheng Lin. All these young guys that are just making debuts and a lot of just contact, small ball, fast and bunting. Completely different style than every other team in this tournament. Zequan Chain has been having a pretty good tournament. 429. He's got 2 hits today. Runs scored back in that 5th. He softly grounds this one to short. Peralta fields it cleanly over to Allen for 1 and then to first base. Not in time. The speed of Chain getting himself there. So the fielder's choice gets Yang out at second, but Chain aboard at first.
That completely saws him off with that fastball in on the hands. And Peralta, just a strike over to Allen for the 1. A little bit of a pretty strong slide by Chen to at least break up the double play. Allen's not able to get as strong of a throw off. Even if it was, though, you mentioned it, Yang was hustling down that first base line. Didn't think it was going to be enough time to get the throw off.
Yeah, it was such a really kind of weakly hit ball over to short that by the time Peralta got it, Chain was pretty much halfway there already. And now the lineup turns back over, and Shulun Chung has certainly been having himself a good day. It's 2 for 3, 2 hits, or 2 runs scored, and an RBI. And now this one lifted into right center field. Moving over is Max Murphy. Calls off Zuber, the center fielder, and makes the catch for out number 1. Should say out number 2. So nice job by Nissen to kind of settle down here after the home run and the walk to force the fielder's choice, and then the routine fly out into right field. Chunlin Wang now settling in for the brothers. Good stop by Groshans there behind the plate. A low ball for ball number 1. 364 average in the tournament for Chunlin Huang. 1 hit today and an RBI back in the second inning. 15-10. Your eyes do not deceive you. 25 total runs and 5 2/3 played between these two teams. $15 of those runs all in the first inning. An inning that lasted about 1 hour and 5 minutes we clocked it at.
I think we were at 1 hour and 10.
Hour and 10 minutes. Way inside by Nissen on that one. Make it 2-1.
There's another bluff run at first base from Yang. Yeah, it got Elvis Peralta biting and a couple of steps evaded from that shortstop position.
All a part of the games that this brothers team plays. We know there's some wheels over there. No steal attempts yet in this one. And Nissen misses outside, so it's 3-1.
I think we're starting to figure out that stealing bases, while yes, it can help you over the course of a tournament, especially when you're needing to move production and get some guys in motion. We're figuring out that base hits are automatically putting runners in an extra base anyways.
Another miss by Nissen. Second walk of the game for him. Second walk of the inning. And now first and second.
That gets Kane County's bullpen moving again. I saw Derek Cherry on the mound earlier stretching. Now he's starting to run around in the bullpen. Groshans goes out and has a quick chat to help smooth things over here. It's just been a very interesting couple of innings from some of the bullpen arms. I saw Kyle Krieger having some control issues earlier on. Zach Veen was a little bit sporadic at times. Again, you're learning to pitch in elevation. It's going to take a couple of batters to get yourself back into it. But now you're at a dangerous spot where you're just one swing away and you're putting yourself within bloop and blast territory. And this is a dangerous batter who can certainly put a charge into something.
That is Xiao Yu Su. And you are right, Trevor. He's been having himself a good day already. Especially with runners in scoring position, he can be dangerous. He fouls off the first pitch. 3, 4, and 5. Potentially what Nissen would have to face if this continues. Right in the middle of this brothers order. The 0-1. Long track in, and it gets down for a base hit. Just no man's land right in front of Huang in center field.
Third hit for Peralta. And just a little pop-up here. A ball that's below the knees, tailing away from him. As he's able to stay strong enough and just a little flop shot into shallow center.
Just off the end of the bat, but enough to push it into center field. It's a good day for Elvis Peralta. Now Josh Allen. 4 RBIs in the game for Josh Allen. One of 2 Cougars with that amount. Swinging at the first pitch, grounding it foul down the left field line.
It's 2 former St. Paul Saints who have won a championship together.
A lot of chemistry, as you mentioned, even former teammates and guys just seeing each other around the league and even in other leagues. As Allen watches a pitch high, makes it 1-1. You see it all the time in the American Association. These guys will get together before games and have chats, go out to eat after games as well. Peralta getting a little jumpy over at first base as Allen watches a ball down and away. So works a good count at 2-1. Another pitch high. Makes it 3-1. See Peralta over at first, really just jumping around, trying to get Chang Lin's attention. Get him thinking about anything else except putting something in there for Josh Allen to hit. The 3-1. Allen turns on this one down the left field line and just foul. Would have had Peralta trotting into home pretty easily. But instead, just a long strike, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
I'm just trying to shade that outfield more pull side on Allen. We saw him go the opposite way against Diablos. But he doesn't really go the other way. Seems like almost everything that Josh Allen is hitting when he is on is from left center down that left field line. He's not just a dead pull hitter, but you don't often see him go the other way.
With that said, no shift on of any sort. And a full count now to the Cougars second baseman. There goes Peralta on the pitch, and this one fielded cleanly. Nicely done by Lynn. Turns around and tries to get it to first, but throws it off the bag. So Allen will be safe at first. There was no chance at turning two with Peralta running on the pitch.
I'll go down as the second error of the game for the brothers. It's a tough play, pirouetting and trying to get it to throw off target or on target. Instead, just kind of holds on to the baseball maybe a hair too long and pulls it glove side. And we've already seen this. When you give in the Kane County free bases, whether it's walks or it's errors, they've taken advantage. And again, the gauntlet starts now with Dylan Thomas.
3 walks today for Dylan Thomas. He's been aboard every single time that he has been up to bat. So he watches a first pitch outside. He has, early on, been one of the most valuable pieces on this Cougars team. Still the average up at 667. Nobody out. The runners at first and second. And that one almost glanced off of Thomas, but still it'll be another ball for a 2-0 count.
Well, man on deck, Jabari Henry has been a non-factor in this game, and it's not due to anything for Jabari. He lined out to right field, but he just hasn't really gotten anything else to hit. He's been walked 3 times, just like Dylan Thomas has. So when you think about these guys here in this 3 and 4 part of the order, they're your big boppers, someone who could run into something, keep on making multiple runs with just one swing. But in reality, they just haven't had really much to swing at.
6 walks between Dylan Thomas and Jabari Henry. Just to back up that point, it has been a lot of caution from the brothers. Now Thomas ahead 2-0. Could be potentially chasing that 4th walk of the game, or if he gets something to square up. We have seen him get a hit back in the second. Went past the glove of Cheney, ended up at third base after the air. This one fouled off. Trevor catch it. Almost hit our window. We heard it hit the roof over our heads.
I don't play that game anymore. I had a dent in my booth in Winnipeg.
That sounds scary.
It was
hard enough to dent your booth. So 2-1 then. The late strike call. Looks like it just caught that bottom edge. Nice location there by Cheng Lin. And a good fight back. After throwing 2 straight balls, he's now even the count 2-2. It's Peralta on second, Allen on first. Dylan Thomas trying to not go down for the first time in this game. And he will, though. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Chan Cheng Lin. Just the 4th strikeout of the game for the brothers, and the first one since the 3rd inning.
It's a little sinker that started tailing away right at about the last moment. Pitch that looked appetizing and then dropped right below the barrel.
So it's Jabari Henry. Big swing for him at first, and it's 0-1. Mentioned it a little earlier. He's got 3 walks, officially 0 for 1. He's come around and scored twice, but yet to make his mark on his Baseball Champion League debut. Long time set for Cheng Lin. Now fires. And it grazes Jabari Henry. So 3 walks and a hit by pitch for Jabari Henry in this game, and the bases are now loaded with just 1 out.
If you were to ask Jabari Henry what he thought his first Baseball Champions League game was going to come down to, I don't think he would have said, I'm going to get walked 3 times and I'm going to get hit by a pitch. And I'm still going to be 0 for 1 on the day.
That was probably a 10 out of 10 hit by a pitch location, though, if you had to take one. Just barely grazing the jersey, maybe the arm a little bit. But just being able to walk it off and get yourself over to first. And now it's Raywalt. Just missing on that outside corner is Cheng Lin. 429 for this tournament for Josh Raywalt today. He's 1 for 3. 2 RBIs back in that first inning.
Yeah, the RBI single and the RBI base on balls.
Take both of those. 13 hits apiece for both these teams, but of course the Cougars score up 15-10, heavily due to the walks issued by the brothers. Cheng gets his sign and comes set. The 1-1. Raywald in front of that one. A nice drop behind, though, 3-0 to Wei Ta-Su.
He's one of the top velocity arms in this Kane County Cougars bullpen. Fastball's usually sitting around that 95 to 96 range.
Really tough to hit in the American Association. That certainly translates into this tournament. You got to locate it, see what happens on the 3-0. That one right down the middle at 96, speaking of it. It's just amazing how fast 96 comes at you. I mean, even just compared to 91, 92. It is a blink of an eye and a snap second decision. But he misses outside. 5-pitch walk to Wei Ta-Su. His 3rd of the game.
Now, leadoff walks are not ideal. It puts you in a situation where you got to come right back to work with a man on base, and it does give you a chance to reset with the time it does take for them to make their way back to first. But you're going into the middle of this order, and they've been producing so far today, so you need to get your bearings set in order. Look for a ground ball to one of your middle infielders.
It's the 8th walk of the day for the Cougars, 16th total in the game by both teams. Final on the edge of the grass over at 3rd. Expecting a potential bunt here by Chu Chun Lin. Started his day off well. A couple of RBIs early in this game, but grounded into a double play in the 4th and then flew out in the 5th. And a quick conversation now between Groshans and Warren.
Yeah, everything's just running arm side on Warren. There's a good chance for Groshans to go in, just reset everything, slow something down, and just get Warren back in the right swing of things.
It's the hardest thing when you can throw that hard, because when you can locate in the zone and hit your edges, it is almost an impossible pitch to hit at a level like this, but finding that control can be a little bit difficult when you're throwing up in the 95, 96 mile an hour range. The 1-0 to Lin. Looked like he was going to bunt, pulled it back. And it's 2-0.
And we're just seeing this from this Kane County Cougars pitching side so far. It's a lot of just spraying around.
It's been 7 pitches for Warren, 6 of them balls. He sneaks in a strike there, just on the inside edge. It was pulled back on the bunt once again by Lin. They're chasing 5. 3 innings to play. And a good fight back here now by Warren. Make it 2-2. A bright spot in all 3 games, Ju Chun Lin. Consistent threat on the bases. He's played a pretty good third base as well. And there was 97 on the gun by Warren, but too far to the outside.
That's the second time he's hit 97, and it's pretty much the same exact location as well as the first one.
He's got to bring it back in more. I mean, he can hit the edge on that. It's almost impossible to hit from that left-handed side. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Mixes up the speed at 87. Gets Lin out in front of it. And strikeout number 1 for Art Warren.
Oh, that's also a part of it is 97 off the outside corner. And then he just comes back and then spins something around. 10 miles an hour of a difference of speed. It really changes your timing up, and especially when you're consistently seeing that 96, 97, you throw the wrinkle in it, you're not really getting anything done there.
That's the beauty of it. If you can just locate that fastball and just pick and choose when you want to throw what, keep them on their toes always.
I mean, it comes down to tunneling, like how your fastball and your slider look coming out of the same location. Like you see with Paul Skeens quite a bit with the Pittsburgh Pirates, is that almost everything comes out of his hand pretty much the exact same way, and then you look at the way things are starting to move around. That slider then just starts, and about 3/4 of the way through starts to flip its way back to the other side. Then you go with the changeup, same exact thing. It starts moving towards the outside and then comes back to the inside. It just is so important to be able to mix up your pitches and have them all tunnel around the same location.
This one misses low for 2-0. If you haven't seen that Paul Skeens video, the overlay of all the balls and where they start and where they break away, it is something to behold, and he is certainly one of the best young pitchers in the game. And honestly, I think you can go a step above that. I think he's just simply one of the best pitchers in the game.
That's him and Tarek Skubal, 1-2.
This one squirts away here from Groshans, and that's going to move Sue over to second base.
Rare pass ball. Groshans, usually a sure-handed catcher, and this one backs up on Warren. Tries to go with the slider, and looks like Groshans gets a little bit kind of handcuffed on himself.
It just kind of looked like he had the glove flipped the wrong way. Maybe wasn't expecting as much break as there was there from Warren, who's, again, in a little bit of trouble here behind 3-0 to Meng Chi Hu.
It just wasn't enough break. That one backs up on him, so it looks like it's supposed to start going more left. But again, the elevation, you don't get the same sort of spin, so that ball kind of cement mixes a bit.
The 3-0. High and inside. Walk, strikeout, walk. The stat line so far for Warren. Puts runners at first and second, just one out. 7, 8, 9 due up here for the brothers. And David Holmberg going to come out, the pitching coach for the Cougars, and have a conversation with Warren. Bullpen is active once again for the Cougars as well as the brothers. Won't see a call to the pen here, but this is obviously a dangerous situation for Warren, and even more so with Shea Chang Chen stepping up. He has been having a good day. The sacrifice fly back in the second, but the only home run of the tournament so far for Chinese Taipei. Back in the 6th inning. It's the lefty warming up for the Cougars, Jordan Martinson. Thank you for the assist, Trevor.
Binoculars certainly help.
Thought it was a good bring.
It was.
The binocs.
I wouldn't have enough room in my suitcase. I'm not exactly good at doing these packing things. I have an overpacking problem when it comes to that. Just
especially if you get souvenirs or whatever else.
Oh,
you always got to bring a slightly bigger bag whenever you go on a trip.
Yeah, I'm going to have some trouble getting everything back in the suitcase, head back north.
And just sit on top of it and zip. You'll be all right. Tang Chen taking strike number 1 by Warren, 96 down the middle. Blasted a solo shot to lead off the 6th inning. Into the Brothers bullpen. An opportunity to try to cut into this lead here in the 7th. This one almost got away from Warren, just barely misses the back of Chen and evens the count at 1. Wind blowing slightly left to right. It's that right center field gap. Just missing off the edge.
Quality pitch, too. Again, they just don't chase that often.
Really disciplined team as we've seen, this Chinese Taipei. See what Chen does now with a 2-1. Goes in the opposite way this time. Murphy floating over, seeing if he has enough room in the corner, and he does. So a nice catch by Max Murphy. The tag by Sue gets him to 3rd, but if you're the Cougars, you'll take that.
That's a long fly out down the right field line. Looks like it was slicing foul. Murphy has just enough room, and that wall comes up pretty quick. It is a big outfield. He was in foul territory, but 332 feet down that line. That retaining wall is right there as well, and it's kind of an awkward positioning for it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, watching it, I thought it was just going to float into those bleachers, but hung up just enough for Murphy to have the awareness and make the catch in the corner. Amazing, too. I mean, how far that ball flew off the bat of Xu-Tang Chen. Here's Shang-He Yang now. RBI single back in the 1st. So for 2 cents, he did walk back in the 6th. Runners at the corner for Warren. He's able to even up the count at 1. 21 pitches just in this inning alone for Art Warren. Bit taxing compared to his first outing against Diablos. This Brothers team has given the Cougars all they can handle so far. Not every game for these Brothers team has been pretty, but they have been in all of them, specifically that last one with the Crocodiles. Looking like they were going to carry that 6-2 victory before the big comeback in the 7th. Another outside pitch that bends away. It's 3-1. And in a dogfight here now with Kane County. They're 0-2, but they're a scrappy 0-2.
Everything's come down to the wire almost.
The 3-1. Able to zip that one in there and make it full.
I mean, it's been competitive against Los Dantos until they started pulling away late. Had the big lead against the Cuban team, and then here inside.
That one drifts off into the other side of the batter's box, make it 2-1. See Claudio's numbers there, 667, 6 hits. 3 of them in this game, 3 of them in the last game. Got one of the more interesting batting stances, too. Keeps those hands so close to his chest. Just wiggles the bat around, waiting on that pitch to come.
Oh, wiggles everything. He is not stationed at all. His entire body is like jello in the batter's box.
Not on the team last season for the Cougars. I should say not on the team. Not on the BCL team that traveled down here last season for the Cougars. Excited to get an opportunity this year. Play with some of the guys from around the league as well as his teammates. As he chases that one to the outside, and back-to-back strikeouts by Yingjui Chen. So he does a nice job entering into this game for Chinese Taipei. And almost the opposite of what he got with Max Murphy. Instead of breaking in, this one breaking out. He just gets Claudio Final to just chase after it. And that'll bring up Jax Groshans. Dips out of the way of that one. It's 0-1, or I should say 1-0. Groshans, one of just 3 Cougars without a hit. Did walk back in the first inning, 0 for 3 since. Now, one of those Cougars without a hit is Jabari Henry, who's had 5 at-bats, and he's 0 for 1. So, certainly there on the OBP category. That one catches the edge. Groshans doesn't like it. He might have a case. But regardless, 2-1.
A much sharper looking day for Chen so far. Pitching that opener against Dantos. Gave up 6 runs, 6 hits, and 2 innings of work. So far, things are looking a lot more smoother.
This one now into the hole, or the gap in right center field. Bounces off the wall. A base hit and more for Jax Groshans. And he gets off the X list here and gets his first hit of the game.
Finds something out over the heart of the plate. Gives it a drive into right center field. And that's a pitch that's going to stay up a little bit. It's that breaking ball, and it just cement mixes its way middle away. Short hops the wall in right center field.
He's been doing such a good job controlling those breaking pitches. First time we've seen an error with it here.
Yeah, and again, it's just that pitch that is usually like swiping away pretty much as it's getting close to home plate. You don't get enough on top of that. That thing is just going to stay on up, and it just kind of just turns into a spinning top. It doesn't go anywhere, and it stays up enough. And when you're a very patient hitter, someone who can recognize that pitch long enough, so much time to get your barrel down to get it and drive it the other way.
It's a good piece of hitting by Groshans, and it brings up Ray Zuber III. He's the only man on this Cougars lineup to not reach base. 0 for 4 today. He's got a strikeout, a couple ground outs, and a fly out.
And that fly out almost got enough of it off the end of the bat, though.
He's got a runner in scoring position here with getting to 2-0 this Baseball Champions League. Puckett in there with a strike against Shrelong Chung, who has had himself a pretty decent day. 2 for 4. He's reached 3 times, 2 runs and an RBI for him. The leader on this team in batting average as well, over 500. Make it 500 exactly. 5 for 10. This one lifted and over the shades here at Estadio Alfredo Harpelou. One of the coolest features for sure about this ballpark, the shades that cover the bowl of this stadium, making that pitchfork pattern on the back end. If you look at it from the back or the overhead, as this is a good charge into right field, but it's going to hang up for Max Murphy. Camps underneath it and makes the catch. But just so many details involved in the making of this, even in the seatings that got some red parts on it that kind of makes it look like a fire going all the way around it. We saw some of the chants last night too, Trevor. All the fans just really get into it here. It seems like just a great atmosphere to take in a ballpark, a ball game, I should say. See that 571 batting average, and more importantly, that OPS 1482. Long time to the plate for Sang. Now he comes. Holds back on a low pitch. Makes it 1-1. The last 4 outs by the Cougars, all strikeouts. Side being struck out by Yingjue Chen to get out of the 7th inning, and then Sang starting his day off after giving up the single to Peralta with a strikeout to Allen. Pops in another one at 92. Bottom corner, tough place. Try to put some bat on ball for Dylan Thomas. The 1-2 coming in from Sang. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Dylan Thomas. Back-to-back Ks for Pinyin Sang.
Yeah, just mixes up the elevation well. Goes low, high, back low, back high, and this time he elevates. And Thomas just a tick behind it.
So now the last 5 outs made by the Cougars, all by way of the K. And that brings in Jabari Henry. Still hunting his first hit in this BCL Championship League. And there it is, right through the hole on the left side. Coming around third is Peralta, and the Cougars pick up a big insurance run off the bat of Jabari Henry.
It wasn't imperative to bring that run in, but you just need to find a way to get those 2 out ribbies, and this is a fastball that leaks right back over the middle of the plate. Simple swing from Jabari, drives it through the left side of the infield. Peralta's speed, no chance.
Good piece of hitting for Jabari Henry. Probably feels good to at least get that one out of the way after having to be patient for it. 3 walks and a hit by pitch, plus that fly out in the second, and now an RBI single. So the lead 6 for the Cougars.
6 plate appearances, 2 at-bats. Just
kind of a funny stat line at the end of the day.
Doesn't happen all that often.
No, it doesn't. Josh Raywald, on the other hand, 1 for 4. 2 RBIs, though, both coming in the first inning. 1 by a hit, 1 by a walk. First pitch swinging and missing for strike 1. Albeit the run given up, Sang has pitched pretty well, mixing up pitches and spots, getting a couple of strikeouts. The 0-1 tapped foul. And for the Cougars, efficiency has been the name of the game. 16 runs on 16 hits. I think you'll take those numbers. This one smacked into right field and down for a base hit. So Xiao Yusu keeps the brothers alive with his 4th hit of the game.
It's a combined 30th hit in this game between these 2 clubs.
That mixed in with 16 walks. We've certainly seen a lot of offense.
This is shaping up to be the longest game of the tournament so far.
We're going to hit it. I mean, I think we could flirt with that 4-hour mark, Trevor. Wei Tu Su, been a dangerous bat as well. This is the belly of the beast of this Chinese Taipei lineup that Jake Gozo and this defense for the Cougars has to go through. 2 runs and an RBI for him today. You see that .333 average. He's reached base every single time. 3 of them by walks, 1 by hit by pitch, and a single back in the first. This is Gozo's 2nd appearance. 1 hit and a walk against Diablos a couple of nights ago. He's been a little wild here to start, 3-0. Down against Wei Tu Su.
You're hoping that ever-important insurance run that Elvis Peralta crossed in isn't going to be important if you are Kane County. But on the other side, knowing that you're chasing 6 runs, again, the first 2 men on base would be a good start for the brothers.
That's exactly right. Here's the 3-0. Misses high, and that's exactly what happens. And walks are the recipe to getting yourself back into a game like this. And also really just the way Chinese Taipei and these brothers play, just hits and station to station and keeping the momentum and the movement. Nobody making that first or last out. That's how you get big comebacks.
We'll see how it starts here. You can now have runners at first and second, a quick little mound visit to just get things back under control. And Jax Groshans, he's been busy today, doing a lot of work, being not just kind of your important catcher, of course, but also mentoring your pitching staff to get through these tougher times, especially with pitchers who, again, still trying to get used to being here in Mexico City, especially against the middle part of this order, trying to get things going in check.
It's a single and a walk to start off Gozo's day. And now he gets Joy Chun Lin. Ground ball is the recipe for Gozo, but he does pump in a strike here in the top edge. Well, Chun Lin started this game by reaching his first 2 times, one by single, one by walk, but he's 0 for his last 3, including a double play and a strikeout. Gozo misses the spot, 1-1. Pop straight up in the air. Final throwing the glove up, trying to find it. Drifting over and makes the catch. That sun starting to come out here in Mexico City. It was a good job by Final to block it out and stay underneath it to grab the first out of the inning.
Well, especially with the wind looking like it's not really blowing all that much. But then again, though, that infield fly rule certainly big, especially if Final just didn't get as good of a look at it, especially with that sun just going right into his eyes.
Yeah, the wind not so strong, but kind of blowing all over the place. It was going right to left, now looking more left to right.
It's swirling a little bit. Especially here, we're in a bowl. I mean, there is open airness to the stadium, so it's not like a traditional bowl that you would see in some other ballparks. But that being said, the wind could get trapped and swirl around, and that can make things difficult, especially when it goes over the shade and then starts coming down below it.
Absolutely. Good spot there by Gozo to even up the count at 1 against Meng Chi Hu. Another guy that's reached a bunch in this game. 4 times aboard. The 1-1 from Gozo. Catches that outside edge at 95. Big, powerful arm on display. Su at first base and Su at second base for Chinese Taipei. And a swing and a miss at the plate by Meng Chi Hu. Gozo's first strikeout. Third, backing it down and makes the catch. And that is how the game will end. Jake Gozo comes in and slams the door shut despite allowing a hit and a walk to kick off the 9th inning. But 16-10. The final score here for the Cougars, who improved to 2-0 here in the BCL 2026, putting themselves in prime position to be facing off on Sunday. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei and the brothers dropping to 0-3, Trevor.
Yeah, this is just the sign of things from this brothers ball club again. Another showing that they're getting better. Things are getting better from them. Their offense is starting off hot in every single game so far. The pitching has shown bright spots, but unfortunately, though, for the brothers, they just haven't been able to piece it all together. The defense has been shaky at times, but otherwise, you look at the Kane County Cougars side, I mean, things were going for them well. They go down 5 runs early in the top of the first inning. They turn things around and immediately drop